All right, good morning, everybody. It's a little bit late getting started today. A couple minutes late. I had to do some testing first. Hopefully, this lighting looks okay. Not too sure how it's looking. Looks bright enough, I suppose. It's having a little bit of issues with StreamYard getting this set up this morning. So, thanks for bearing with me, everybody. All right, looks like some people are starting to come in. Yeah, there's Rebecca. Good morning, Rebecca. Do you have any videos up yet on your channel, Rebecca? I know I gave you a shout out on the mail call video, but appreciate you. Guess what? This hat, I was just wearing it for a second here. Look what I got here. Ah, yeah. I love this hat so much, Rebecca. It's been keeping me so warm. In fact, last night during Bible study, I had it on and my head got too hot. I had to take it off. It was really warm. So, uh, thank you very much, Rebecca. I feel tremendously blessed, and so does the rest of my family. We're staying warm. Our heads are very warm because of the hats that you had sent us. So appreciate that. Hey, if you guys want your channel link dropped in the chat, just type in capital AZ, and it'll drop your channel link so people can subscribe. I've got to wait for a card for my camera. Oh, uh, these hats are so comfortable. Let me see. I gotta keep up with the chat this morning. It's one of my goals. Good morning, Sherry, over there in Georgia. Hope you're doing well. Good morning, Matt, Grafter Branch Homestead in New Mexico. Yeah, beautiful. Nice hat. Thank you. Yeah, so, I hope you get a cord. Oh, I see. Hope you get a cord for that camera real soon, Rebecca. Uh, yeah, these hats are awesome. They're so soft and so comfortable. Looks like we've got 4 people in the chat. Yeah, so look, Sherry's leading by example here. Type in AZ, just like Sherry did at Black's Tropical Homestead, and Nightbot will drop your link so people can go and subscribe to your channel. So that's pretty awesome. I don't know why it is putting this, all these characters for your channel link. Um, Sorry, you guys can't see where my cursor is. Uh, I don't know why it's not put in. I tried it with my other channel and it should have come up with the channel name. So sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. I don't know what's up with that. So still trying to figure out Nightbot. So bear with me there. Good morning, Spring Meadow Farm and Garden. Just clean the coops. We know how that is. Um, I think that could be a whole discussion in itself about cleaning the coops in the morning. It's really cool. Yeah. So there we go. We got people dropping their links. All you gotta do is type that AZ, and Nightbot will drop your link for you, so people can go and subscribe. Yeah, I like this color of the hat too. I thought it was kind of like a tealish before, but it's kind of a green. It's like a darkish bluish green and then lighter green as well. Uh, Yay! All right, Matt. Yeah, I appreciate you being here, my friend. Thank you very much. Um, there it is. Matt got his channel link dropped as well, so go check out Grafted Branch Homestead. Waiting on Rebecca Davis Touched by Yarn to drop the first video, even though my bell is on. I still check daily. I've been checking a few times too, Sherry. I must admit. Yeah, I can't wait to see Rebecca's videos. So yeah, we'll be as patient as we can, Rebecca. But we really appreciate what you do for our YouTube community because it's pretty cool. This is a huge blessing. I'm super appreciative of it. Danielle's been wearing hers just about every day. Caleb loves his, Noah loves his too, and they're wearing them. So we appreciate that for sure. Um, I love having Nightbot dropping links so the mods can chill and enjoy the chat more. Or if I don't have a mod available, have it set to drop jokes. Oh yeah, I want to do that. I got a little notepad here, so I'm gonna take some notes about Nightbot for anybody that's got tips. Uh, so another thing is that you can type in weather and your town, and it should drop the current weather. So I'd love to know what everybody's weather's like. So let's see if I can do. Let me see if I can do this here. Weather. All right. See if Nightbot will drop the link here. Going to be getting the brooder coop ready next. Yeah, it's that time of year again, isn't it? To get the chicks going for the spring. I know. All right, so see, I typed in weather Prescott for where we are, and Nightbot dropped this. So we've got 29F right now. My thermometer says 27 right now, so we're a little bit colder than downtown Prescott, I guess. But got the wind blowing at 4 miles an hour, and the humidity is high for us right now. We had fog yesterday, actually. So look at that. Rebecca tried it. Let's see. RG tried weather Ash Fork. Oh, hang on. Rebecca tried it weather Columbia. Look at that. It's 51 degrees. You got just a very light wind at 1 mile per hour, and you got high humidity too. All right. Hey, there's Joy Blessed Life. Good morning. Good morning, Joy. I hope all is well in your life and with Donnie. And yeah, it's great to have you in here this morning. You can type AZ to have your channel link dropped if any of you want to do that. Let's see, going back up here. Let's see, the last one to do it was Grafted Branch, typed in AZ, and then Nightbot threw up the Grafted Branch channel link. So you can do that if you would like people to subscribe to your channel. There's Ash Fork, 31F. Nice here sitting with me too. Hey, Donnie. It's good to have both of you here with us. Appreciate that. There we go. Joy Bless Life. Tried it out. There's a link to Joy Bless Life. So I really hope that you guys would subscribe to each other's channels here. That's the idea, is to build community with these lives and get to know one another. Um, Nightbot jokes. I need to put the jokes on there once in a while. I don't have the timer set up for anything yet. Zombie Prepper, good morning. So I think that Nightbot will drop your channel for saying hello, AZ. I don't know. Maybe you just have to type in AZ. I don't know much about Nightbot at the moment, but you might just have to type AZ first. AZ hello. I don't know if that'll work. Anyway, you probably know more about Nightbot than me, Zombie Prepper. So there it is. He's trying it down there. Hey, Joy Bless Life. The weather thing, yeah, that worked. Zombie Prepper, check that out. So there's probably a delay here too, so you guys are probably seeing stuff before I'm seeing it. So let's see. So this is how you do it, Joy Bless Life. Yes, how do you do the weather thing? Type in weather, and then you just type in your town. You don't even need to type in the state, and it should pop up correctly, unless there's another town like Portland, Maine, Portland, Oregon. I know that those towns are spelled the same. So I don't know, try it and see. But that's one of the things I set up because I always want to know the weather. But there's the weather for Tallahassee, 55 with wind at 5 miles an hour, humidity 75%. All right. Yeah, good morning, Tiny Tim. Uh, the jokes get my chat rolling. Some were weird, but most were great. Made the chat tell jokes. Yeah, that's nice. I've got a bicycle joke for you guys. Maybe I've told it before. Um, why did the bicycle fall over? Um, why did the bicycle fall over? It was too tired. So there we go. Joy, bless life, got it. So the weather where you are, rain showers with 35 degrees. That's how ours was the day before yesterday. I think it was just over freezing, and it was raining. It was very cold. 7 miles an hour too. Yeah, that sounds like a cold day over there. Um, here we go. Columbia, Missouri. Okay, let's see. So Columbia, Missouri. Is that correct, Rebecca? 3 degrees Fahrenheit. The wind blowing at 9 miles an hour, 74. Because before Columbia, let's see. Sorry, I'm just very curious for how all this is working. Before it said Columbia was 51. So maybe that was a different Columbia, right? All right. All right. We got Joy Bless Life trying others here. So 36F light rain. All right. All right. All season. Haven't seen you here before. Good morning. Welcome. All right. Let's see. Too tired. Yep. Yeah. West Phoenix. Yeah. I know. Our lakes are getting full up here near Prescott. So yeah, it's good. More Colombians than just mine. Yep. Hey, Lynette. Good morning. Glad you could join us even for a little while. Appreciate it. It's supposed to be snowing according to the weather app here, but it's rain. Yeah, I'd much rather have snow than rain myself. I like snow. Um, been in a couple. All right. Well, maybe you changed your name or your icon or something. I don't know. But good morning to you. Thank you for being here. If you guys just type in capital A, capital Z, Nightbot will drop your channel link if you want anybody to go and check out your channel or subscribe to it. Good morning, Chuck. So glad that you're here. Thank you for joining. Yeah, yeah, we love Prescott too. It's a great town. Actually, my grandfather grew up here in the teens and 20s, and then he left to go to school, never came back. And my dad lived almost all his life over in Southern California because of it. And then we came back. So we're back up here now. And we love it here. All right, let's see. Yeah, we love snow too. Yep. That's great. So you guys, yeah, so see, like Sherry just did from Black's Tropical Homestead, you can type in weather in your town. No state needed unless there are other towns that are similar to yours in other parts of the country. So, and then it'll drop this right here. Man, it's warm over there, Sherry. I hope we get up to 59 today. That would be great. So, all right, I got you. All right, let's see. Yeah, I'm trying. I'm trying Homestead Aquarius. Yeah, there we go. Gatlinburg. Yep, looks like pretty similar. So it must be all the towns just right around you. Um, Kids are listening anyway. Do a shout out. Keith and KC, how you doing? Thanks for listening. Appreciate it. Hope y'all are doing well over there in Albuquerque, New Mexico. We hope to visit you guys sometime soon. Uh, my boys Noah and Caleb, they're 14 and 12, and been telling them that we're gonna head over that way. There are some sheep for sale over in New Mexico, and pretty close to where you guys are located. And we were thinking that would be fun if we ended up getting my parents and us moved onto a new property and had a place for sheep. We get them probably right away. So if that happens, we might be headed over your way. All right. Thanks for Thanks for joining in with your channel, Donnie. Appreciate it. Drop AZ. Oh, you did down here. So put it all together. No space between them, and it should drop your link. Oh, it dropped. Oh, you figured it out. I'm sorry. I'm scrolling down, missing the comments. So if y'all want to have your channel link dropped, do what Donnie Wheeler did and type in AZ, and it'll drop your channel link so that we can all be subscribed to you. All right. Oh, RG Homestead says, I've been looking into the old stagecoach route in and around my area. It's been fun looking them up. Yeah, you know what? I would like to know more about that too, RG. So yeah, it'd be fun to make a video about that. I also ride my bicycles a lot on old old routes, old roads. Most of them have deer trails on them up here if they don't have an existing hiking, biking, equestrian trail on them, or 4x4 trail or whatever. So I'll take my bike on them and try to retrace those routes. It's really interesting to me. My son Noah is very interested in trains and transportation history and all that. So, and I'm a geographer by trade, so I love that stuff. Yeah, yeah. Thanks, Joy Bless Life. Yeah, Nightbot is pretty cool. I just as scratched the surface. I had it wrong this morning when I did a test, and I kept changing it and testing it, and yeah, it worked. In fact, check this out. If you guys haven't checked out our other socials, just typed in socials, and it should Nightbot should post up our Instagram and Facebook links there. It came in a little bit strange, not exactly how I wanted it to, but you should be able to click on those links and go follow us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook. Here's my coffee this morning. I've got this coffee cup from, I don't know if you guys can read that, Grand Canyon National Park, or the Grand Canyon State over here, Copper State as well. So, all right, all season. You're gonna get me to camp out on this now. So, so thanks for making this comment. So you ride BMX in dirt jumps and skate parks mostly. Have you ever tried flatland BMX? I really got into flatland BMX and would love to get back into it. Flatland BMX is where you balance and you're just on a flat surface. Often it's like a tennis court or a parking lot or something of that nature. The smoother, the better. And I got really good at balancing on one wheel on a BMX bike and riding on the pegs with one foot and the other foot scuffing the tire, which means that you're just pushing your foot on the tread of the tire to keep that one wheel moving. And then you keep the other wheel in the air and do spins and all kinds of stuff. Anyway, I love that. But I do some dirt jumping. I'm not very good at skate parks, but I do know what a bubica is. Do you know what a bubica is, all season? I bet you do. Go to Tanner Hill Skate Park near Montgomery, Alabama. Old wagon ruts. 120 years old from Civil War ironworks. Wow, I really would love to go to that. State Park. I thought it said skate park at first. We're talking about skate parks. I would love that, Donnie Wheeler. I really gotta go and visit the South. I've never been. I've never even been to Texas. I need to go. So I'm itching to get over there. Maybe 2022 will be the year I get over there. Like your hat, Nick. Yes, this is a hat that Rebecca made. Absolutely, Chuck. So Rebecca, I think she dropped. Oh no, she didn't drop her channel link, but she was up there in the chat. And she actually asked this question: Nick, are you going to put a link for people to come live with you? I always forget this, so I will do that now. If I know you and I've seen you on camera before, then I'll probably let you come up. But I might be a little bit picky, so forgive me for that. I've just heard some things from some of my YouTube friends about being cautious and being careful. So, oh man, I went way up in the chat. Now I'm all behind. Okay, let's see. Yes, it's a Rebecca made hat for sure. It's super comfortable and warm and keeps my head really nice. I love it. Yes, have St. Martin. Awesome. Correction, Tannehill Historical State Park. All right, I need to go check that out. So that was in Alabama, you said, right, Donnie? Yeah, you said it right here. Montgomery, Alabama. All right, I need to go check it out. Socials are tricky to click on with the phone, but figured IG out. Cool. I think we follow you over on IG. I don't know. There's a Phoenix Flatland group I'm a part of. All right, all season. That's awesome. What's your favorite flatland trick to do? All right. Yeah, see, I thought so. They have real Civil War cabins you can rent. Wow. Oh, that's awesome. All right, so there is the StreamYard link if anybody wants to come up. All season, are we on acres and have we thought about agroforestry? We're on less than a half an acre. We've got a garden and some chickens and some fruit trees. So agroforestry, I don't know. I went to school and studied agroforestry actually, but I haven't got into too much of looking at forested land because it's not something that we're interested in as much. So I'll probably get into that a little bit more. But guess what? I've got a guest down here. It's Rebecca. Good morning, Rebecca.
Good morning.
I love this. Thank you so much.
I know you do. And it was really hard to pick a color for your wife because I have to see what they're wearing. A lot of people don't understand of how I know what people want to wear. And there's another place in Arizona, also the Blue Cactus Dairy, and she made some soap. And it was very interesting that she was like, "This is my favorite color," and I'm like, "Whoa!" And I have that exact yarn.
Oh, nice.
That was so funny, and I didn't know who to make it for, and now I do.
That's excellent. Isn't that cool how God brings people across your path like that, yes. It's just meant to be, right?
Correct. correct. You know, it's everybody's loving their hats, and I've got to get someone to help me to set up. My brother keeps walking behind my phone. That's what the shadow is.
Oh, that's just fine.
It's fine. You know, he's the one that's behind the scenes. I don't know if he'll ever go on camera, but he's the one that buys the yarn because I don't make enough on Social Security. You know, so I look at that I look at that situation and I'm like, okay, I've got to set up PayPal that isn't attached to my account, and I have no idea how to do that.
Okay.
And when I was on my phone and I was recording, it only lasted 2 minutes, and I'm like, okay, this phone's not going to work.
Yeah, I hear
you. You know, so I have an older Olympus that I bought, you know, got in a box of stuff, and it works. You know, I used it when I was in Gillette, Wyoming, to video when I was there at our Wyoming Life. You know, at their get together. And it did fine. You know, so it was kind of like, okay, I don't have a cord for this, so my brother ordered one, and it's going to be here soon. Good. You know, I was thinking I should have probably waited. I should have waited to put my channel up until I had everything ready, but I just went ahead and did it.
Yeah, you know what I found, Rebecca, is that I wish I would have started everything sooner. That's how I feel. And there's a lot of things I've learned along the way. Like this light, for instance. I have this light shining on my face right now. That really helped my video quality because my camera is not adjusting to the low light situation. And I had used low light a whole bunch in the past, and I didn't think it really mattered. But then now that I have this bright light, everything's crisper. And anyway, I learned that from a few people, and you learn stuff along the way. And I think it's no big deal whether you start even with what you're using right now. You know, if you wanted to do a real quick video to say, hey, this is a what do you call it, circle loom?
Yes.
You just explain, hey, this is a circle loom. You guys should go and get one. And then when you have it, I'm going to put up another video sometime in the future, you know, and explain how all that works. But I'm like Sherry Black said earlier, and she said good morning to you, of course, but she said, you know, I can't wait till you put up a video. And I'm the same way. Anything that you put up, I'm going to watch it. And I think there's a lot of us that are just chomping at the bit, waiting to see what you might put up. So anything that you want to put up, even if it's just a hat you're sending to somebody, say, hey, here's a purple hat I'm sending to Danielle in Arizona. You know, I would love to see that too. So
this is a scarf that I'm making for oh gosh, I can't think of the name of the channel right now, but his hat, he won on Scott Brum, Rambling with the Brums.
Oh yeah. Scott.
You know, that guy, he's going to be getting this scarf, and I keep feeling it. It's really heavy, and he's in Oklahoma, and he's probably going to go, yeah, it's going to be okay being heavy, because I was thinking about taking it apart again and not making it so heavy. But, you know, I'm like, okay, you know, I'm just not going to do it because it's this big now.
Oh, wow. Nice.
It's pretty good sized, and so I'm crocheting, you know, so let's see that I can crochet. And oh, Ronald, stop the phone's ringing. And it's a car. It's a car honking.
It sounded like a natural sound, to be honest. It didn't really. Sound
it is. It's I can't remember what year the car is, but it's like a '56 Chevy Bel Air.
Oh yeah, nice.
You know, but yeah, it's.
I gotta say something here real quick. So Steven, you just came in. Good morning, Mr. Boots and Bounty. Here we go. Sherry is showing how you can drop your link in the chat by just typing AZ, and then Nightbot will put it up like this. So anybody who wants to drop their channel link, go ahead and type AZ. You can also type in weather. I'm going to show an example here.
That is.
No, I don't. My brother just showed me a number, and I says, no, I don't. They're from Missouri, but I have no idea who that is. If they want to leave a message, they can.
Yeah. That's how
usually what I do is you noticed, I think I put either a Post-it note in there with my phone number on it,
Uh-huh.
or it was a 3x5 card. I started doing the 3x5 cards so that they had my email address and everything, so that it made it easy for them if they want to get in touch with me and
Yeah,
stuff.
I had gotten an email from you, so I have your contact information for sure
Okay.
in there, and that's how I saved it. If you type in weather in your town, it will pop up your weather. And if you're like Rebecca and you live in Columbia and there's a whole bunch of Columbias, you have to type in the state, but
Yep.
otherwise, it
It's
should
going to
pop
get
up.
somewhere because there's Columbia, South Carolina, I think.
Yeah, yeah, I think so too. I think that's where it was.
So it's kind of like that I was like, no, that's not my temperature. So that's why I did the Columbia, Missouri. And oh yes, it's cold. It's very cold outside today.
Yeah, it looked really cold. It's in the single digits, huh?
Yes.
Wow.
And it's like, man, I've got to head out. I just wanted to thank you for letting me bless you. That's what this channel's all about, is blessing people. And
You're thanking me. Are you kidding me? Thank you, Rebecca. I can't tell you, when I opened these, my son Caleb was sitting right there. I hope you saw him in the when I passed the hat to him. But I thought,
yeah,
oh, man, this hat looks so. His hat is camo,
yes.
and made it so nice for him. It's exactly what he would have wanted, and I pretended like I was going to keep it, and he was. I handed
We
it.
saw that. We saw that, and I'm like, no, that's not your hat.
Yep.
That is your son's.
I was just playing with him since he was sitting right there, but he loves it. We all love our hats. So thank you so much, Rebecca. We really do appreciate it. I've got Donnie Wheeler waiting in the queue here, so I'm going to add him to the stream. But so good to see you, Rebecca.
I haven't seen his channel there. If anybody goes to my channels, they're going to go, oh my gosh, she does so many different things, and I do. It's just not one genre. And I haven't gone to any of the yarn ones yet because, I have my own way. But I'm going to have to go and see what they do because I'm literally new to crocheting. I have only been doing it for less than a year.
Is that right? Well, you are very good at making these hats. I am super impressed and can't wait to see what you do next, Rebecca. Thanks for joining me.
Okay. Take it easy.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
You were on his wife's.
Yes, I was.
Hey, good morning.
Here I go.
Good morning. All's well. Oh,
how are you, sir? Yep.
Oh. Well, good morning from Tennessee, Eastern Tennessee, where it's still raining and not snow, even though they promised. We don't get enough snow around here, so that we pray for it. We hope for it. Other people are like, no. So I wonder what God does with those kind of prayers. He's got people in the same area, one praying one thing, one praying the other thing.
Yep. I think we could discuss that until the cows come home, because I've discussed that with some of the guys. We have a bicycle ministry where we have men's fellowship with on Tuesday nights and Wednesday mornings, and we have a little devotional beforehand, and then we ride together and we discuss God's word and what it means for our lives and how to apply it. And we have discussions like that. Like one of the questions one of the guys asked recently was, do you think there will be any competition in heaven? And I thought about it and I thought, well, what do you mean? And he said, well, one of my favorite things is riding my bike really hard or running with someone else who's equally matched to me and just pushing each other hard. And I said, that is a great question. So anyway, we discussed that for a long time. And I love the question that you have too. There's got to be people in your town that are praying for rain and you're praying for snow. And how does God answer those prayers?
How does he figure all that out? Well, he said he knows the end from the beginning. So
amen.
He doesn't let it worry him at all, because it's I always think of Jesus as the most incredible time traveler. I'm a time traveler movie watcher. I like anything that has to do with time, because honestly, he is the most perfect time traveler there ever was. He can be at any place at any time.
Yeah.
and know exactly what's going to happen and knows how to adjust today to make it turn out tomorrow. So I have no
Yeah.
worries.
Yeah. Well, there's a quote from Oswald Chambers. Do you know Oswald Chambers?
I've heard the name, yeah.
So he's written a bunch of devotionals, and I'll tend to go to him every once in a while. But he's got a quote, and I'll probably butcher it, but I'll try the best I can. I think it goes something like, the interesting thing is that when you fear God, you fear nothing else. But if you don't fear God, you fear
You hear
everything else.
everything. That's great.
Yeah. That reminds me when I'm laying in bed at night worrying about tomorrow or whatever is on my mind that I can't control or I don't know the outcome of or I'm worried about the future with. I remember, you fear God, you got nothing else to fear,
Mhm.
but if you don't, yeah, you got everything that's going to be on your mind keeping you awake at night and everything else. So, uh yeah,
One of
I
the
agree with you.
reasons, the one reason I came up was talking about old paths and things like that. I
Yeah.
really want to better explain the Tannen Hill State Park, historical state park we
Well, yeah,
stayed at.
please.
It
Please.
was decent pricing. It was only $30 a night, military discount. And they have a trout creek there, but they have an old ironworks museum. I had no idea that area in Alabama was the highest iron ore concentration in the United States back in the 1800s when the Civil War was going on, and they were making the cannons and the cannonballs and everything there. And it was an ironworks that was established that the Union came down and burned, and then they rebuilt it after the war. And because it was, they were obviously wanting to stop any kind of making of cannons, but they have
Mhm.
blast furnaces there. They have a slave graveyard there from
Wow.
way back in 1800s, and they have all incredible amount of history and original cabins from around the area. One of them was even owned by a Civil War soldier that was moved to that park, and you can rent it.
Wow.
And it's only one room. So what they did was they built an extra bedroom, they built a kitchen on, and an extra bedroom on, so that it's habitable by us modern people. But
Yeah.
it still has the original cabin, original fireplace, and everything in the center. I can't imagine the stories you could tell or say that's been told in those rooms. And
Yeah.
I would really like that as a storyteller, because when we got in there, and of course in the woods there are miles of these wagon tracks that are way gouged down into the ground. That's why the wagon wheels were so high, was that you could have 2 feet of mud, and the wheel would go down through the mud to the stone and still be able to work. So you have these huge
Huh.
deep ruts going for miles and miles. And they actually have a map of these old wagon trails where they moved the iron and brought in the iron and different things like that. And the museum there is awesome. You can spend 2 or 3 days there in just awe of the history of the 1800s.
Tiny
There's an
Tim's.
old church too.
Oh, and an old church. Yep. The
Oh,
First Church.
really? Oh, nice.
Yeah.
and
I want
they
They
to.
have
have services.
services.
One of the
Oh,
only state
cool.
parks that has a church on site. The other state parks had to get rid of their churches, believe it or not, because of complaints. So this is the only one that's
Huh.
still church, because it was just like on the edge or just off the government land, but they're able to have a church there as well. Yeah, we were kind of disappointed that a lot of the state parks were being sued for having religious services on the park, so they had to stop.
Yep. I agree with you there. I think it's important history, and that people can say separation of church and state, but when you start scrubbing history away, then you lose what you could teach people there. And
Hmm.
I, I don't care if it's a mosque or some other type of temple or whatever it might be. It doesn't matter if it's a historical element there. It should remain, in my opinion, whether it's state property or not. But that is really cool that they have services at that
Yep,
chapel there too.
that one
And
does.
they
It's
had
a
a
full size
festival.
church.
A festival too, like a dobro festival, with the music.
Really? I love
Yeah.
the Dobro.
They have
Yeah.
quite a few festivals and everything there. Plenty of parking.
So are you guys ever going to come and visit me in Arizona out here?
Oh yeah,
I
we're
know
gonna
you're in
head
Quartzsite recently, right?
You know, the only thing between us in the spirit, nothing between us in the spirit, but
There we go.
miles in the flesh.
There we
So
go.
we got to deal with that.
We have an RV, so we can travel.
Well, there's a pretty cool historical museum here. So we live in Prescott, Arizona. It was the territorial capital of the Arizona Territory before it was a state. And they have a museum called the Charlotte Hall Museum. And Charlotte Hall was, see if I can get this right. She was a historian that recorded a lot of what had happened in the territory. And they have a bunch of cabins from probably the same era, from when they were doing gold mining and everything here, old miners' cabins. They're probably from just after the Civil War time period. So I'd love to see you guys in person someday. And if
One
you
day.
want to, if you want to come and visit Prescott, Arizona, it's a beautiful place and has lots of history. So,
Well,
And but you're not like in the desert of Arizona. You're
is that northern?
more mountainy.
yes,
Right?
we're
If
well.
you're wearing a hat, you're not in South Arizona.
Here, I'll type in my weather just to remind everybody. Prescott. Oh, it was 27 this morning at our house, and we do get snow. It is pretty dry here regularly, but we're up at 5,500 feet, so we are up in the pines. I like to tell people it's where the cactus meets the pines. So we do have some cactus here. It is kind of high desert in a lot of the surrounding area, but any of the northern slopes, they've usually got pines on them up here. So
So you're a mile high.
yes, sir. That's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
so that I understand the weather then. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's drier up
Here
there.
comes.
Good packing snow here though. When it snows here, you can make a snowball in 2 seconds.
Maybe you should.
Yeah. Yeah, we've gotten a few feet of snow at one time here, but that's about it. We don't usually get more than just a 2 or 3 feet of snow at any one time. So
Oh, 2 or 3 feet. We get 2 or 3 inches here.
yeah,
Real-
we get plenty about once a year. We get maybe 18 inches to 2 feet of snow in one storm, but it melts off that same week. So
Mhm.
it is Arizona still.
It is Arizona.
Yeah,
The arid zone.
that's right.
Oh. But
That's
it's
right.
a dry heat. Yeah, that place. But it's a dry heat. Oh, it's 118, but it's a dry heat.
Yeah.
I love that excuse,
Well, the one thing, homesteading out here, the rain is hard to come by sometimes. We do get monsoons, but I find it a struggle to not covet areas like you live in, where the water actually falls out of the sky regularly enough where you don't really need extra irrigation and to store up rainwater and all that, and everything's green most of the year when things are growing. So
Yeah, it's known
uh,
as a rainforest. The Smoky Mountains are actually known as a rainforest.
We've got
wow.
water coming out of the ground here, so there. Man,
Yeah, I know that.
we have a spring on our property. Where the campground
that
where we
right?
live has a spring, and it comes out of the ground at 7% pH natural. So it has a 2-year or even 3-year shelf life, whereas most of the man-made pH water out there right now is got a 3-month shelf life.
Yeah.
And we got a right here.
They actually,
It's it's
They
my
make their own
campground.
water.
And he is a World War from Vietnam veteran. He was healed. They're born again. They love the Lord, and the Lord convicted him and says, "You've got all this water coming out of the ground. You need to bottle it." And so they have a real special place here, and a
we drink
lot
their
of
water.
testimonies from this water. It's real water.
It's good.
It's exactly what and Joy
Smoky
can drink
Mountains
it.
water.
Smoky Mountains water.
Spring
It's
water.
filtered. It's from a over 500-foot aquifer, and once they bring it up and bottle it, it has a 9 pH, and that is very important to have that kind of pH, because when you're alkaline, you have immunities strengthened. There are people that come from around the country to buy it and take it home with them because it's so
Yeah.
important to their health.
And the guy, he was the guy that owns it. He was a minister to Congress.
well, yeah, and he's a major
Yeah.
player in the DAV. He's actually been with the presidents and different things like that, ministered in Congress, and took.
Is that right? Wow.
And he's done a lot of things. He's also was on Unshackled. He has a
Okay.
story. His name's Tom Munson,
Okay.
and his story actually made it to Unshackled. So he says that's really blessed because they play that story around the world in 20 different languages for the last 25 years. He said, and I know that the salvations and the changes in people's lives have helped bless this property. And they've had people right now trying to take the property here, the bank and things like that, because of people didn't pay their water bills for that, that they sold water to. And next thing you know, and then the big C happened and all these things happened. So the banks foreclosed on this place.
So
But God's not going to let
prayer.
that happen. They've owned it for 35 years. When he came back from Vietnam, the Lord healed him from Agent Orange cancer, and he has been sold out for the Lord and winning souls ever since.
Wow. That's
so
great.
we know that God's not going to let this happen. And God brought me in here as a professional painter because they hadn't painted the place in 20-something years. It's just him and his family. And then he lost his wife the year before we got here. He lost one of his sons in a motorcycle accident 2 years before we got here. So when I got here, it was very timing. They were very sad. They had not got. They really needed somebody to come in and start painting and start organizing and staining and helping and building, and then that really got them going again because they'd just been through so much tragedy in such a short period of time that they had lost heart. And so I've been painting the buildings and in the cabins and helping get one cabin online and making money, and the other cabins spruced up and painted, and the main lodge spruced up and painted. And I've actually painted a mural in the main lodge on the wall of mountains and streams and things like that. I learned how to do Bob Ross just by watching them.
Nice.
And anybody that paints, I'll tell you, it's not the technique, it's knowing how to get the right color. And paint the back of the tree first. How do you do that? So,
and that's in Gatlinburg, Donnie?
This is Dandridge, Tennessee, right on the line, right up here by the Douglas Dam, is where we are, and the campground's full, and it's mostly permanent. So the cabins are the only thing that you can come to for nightly rental. The rest of it, but he has
a big
log cabin lodge that is just nothing but wood. On ceilings, floors, walls.
Church groups.
60 people can stay there.
Large families have reunions here.
Large family reunions come here. Church groups come here every week. You have access to the lake. One of the only north side lake accesses, public lake accesses, is here. And so fishermen come through here.
Bring their boats and
pull in their boats and stay in the cabins while the tournaments are going on. And,
on Douglas Lake.
On Douglas Lake. And it's just a wonderful, wonderful place. And there's good people here.
It's called Mountain Lake Ranch.
Mountain Lake Ranch in Dandridge, Tennessee, 2865 Mountain Ranch Drive. So if you look that up on any of those Google Maps or,
Yep, I'm looking it up right now.
You can check it out. And we have one of the nicer lots. Luckily, when I got here, there was nobody here. There was just a few permanents that had been here for 5 or 6 years, and so I helped them get all of the lots ready. I helped them, dig out and clean and all that, and then paint and stain and put in spindles. And the porches were open with no railings, and I got all the porch railings done and stained and painted. And then the main lodge and even rooms in the lodge. Everything had been about 28 years since they built the lodge, and it hadn't seen a coat of paint since. So, been doing all that for them. And it's been a good trade-off too, because, that has been, paying the lot rent and the electricity. for the last year. So
Oh, that's great.
we moved here about a year and a half ago from another place over in farther east Tennessee. It was really the Lord that brought us in and got the ball rolling again, because
Yeah.
they'd just been hit so many times.
Yeah,
And,
because you know, Joy Bless Life channel,
and that's when
I
we started
vlog
serving.
all over the Smoky Mountains,
Mm-hmm.
you know, over here in this area. So I wanted to be over here.
Yes, it was my wife. Yep, she's the one that did all this. We actually moved from South Bend to go to Bible college in Florida because she insisted. And I went, okay. And then when it was time to come to Tennessee, she came up here several times on vacation and said, this is where I want to live. So when it was time to let go of Tampa and the painting company I had there, I came up here, and then we've started the ministry with Joy Blessed Life and storyteller Donnie Wheeler and Team Jesus, the Team
Yeah.
Jesus channel,
Ministries.
where I teach a little bit more seriously, and then the Joy Blessed Life channel, which we just love on people.
Yeah. Well, I have to thank you guys for the Christmas card I got and the story about Silent Night inside that card.
Yeah.
It was just amazing. I love that. So
Yeah.
thank you guys so much.
Yeah.
Yes, we feel real blessed that we've we tried in the direction like you normally do of, well, start a church, get a building going. But now we're seeing that is not the direction God is taking us at all.
At the moment, at least.
We
It's like online.
We wouldn't mind having a home-based church at some point, but basically we are looking for the cabin with the view, the ability to travel and minister on YouTube. It seems like being minister YouTube pastors has come to pass quickly for us, and we're praying for a lot of people. I'm even visiting people as we travel. We visit and pray for the people that we have on our channel.
Yeah.
And when I went and took Kenny to the airport the other day, we stopped by one of our channel people and prayed for them on the way. So we try to get everything done. Boy, that was a scary drive. That other night when everything was terrible here, I was driving in 26-degree weather, 2 inches of snow with a smooth tire, front wheel drive car. And it was I used up my adrenaline that night. So that was fun though.
Well, praise God that he kept you safe. That's for sure.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Several times there were some trucks off the road and cars off the road and wind blowing and going up hills when you've got a semi behind you coming up behind you and your wheels are spinning. You have to do something so that he can go by with his momentum and not mess with him. And that was something else. But having been in the military, I have this, I'm gonna do this. I can make this. And Joy said, if she'd have been in the back seat, we'd have turned around. Yeah. Because I did 13 years in the Coast Guard. And it's like, I don't give up easy. I'm a risk taker. And Joy said, if I was in the back seat, we'd have turned around. I'm not doing that. So we definitely had quite a trip on that. And anyway, it was a lot of fun. And we blogged some of that travel. And we've done a lot of mountain snow videos here. We've got some more snow videos coming out. And this week on Team Jesus, we're going to be talking about beware of contrary speech. And it says, beware of those who call bad good. And I thought, boy, is that the time we're
so
in? Right?
Prevalent.
And starting with that singer MJ with I'm Bad. I think there's a lot of confusion, and people don't even realize that God takes every word we say seriously. Angels don't joke. They don't understand humor. If you say it's bad, they think it's bad. Even though you're saying it's good, it's bad. But it's good, but it's bad. And then it's called contrary speech in Proverbs. And I'm actually studying it right now, and I'm putting something together for that. So we are learning not to call bad good, letting every word that comes out of our mouth be a blessing, and always being positive.
So I want to talk about that for a little bit, Donnie,
Sure.
and ask you some questions here. I need to address something here though, because Nightbot is doing stuff. This is the first time I've had Nightbot, but Dreamweaver's Haven Homestead spamming the symbols. I think that Nightbot doesn't like when you do some type of extra symbols. I'm not sure. That's probably a default setting that I might need to turn off, but I think maybe it's because of these emojis saying hi to Team Jesus Ministries. I don't know. I'm not sure. So my apologies for that. I'm
Yeah.
not sure.
Nightbot does not like a lot of emojis. So you
Yeah.
might have to check into your settings and fix some of that, because it does time people out for sometimes even capital letters, all capitals and stuff.
Yeah, it did that earlier as well. So I'm very new to Nightbot, so I appreciate anybody's help that they can give me. Okay, I see excess caps. I'm turning that off.
Yeah, Joy's really good with. She's learning
Well,
fast.
I don't use Nightbot, but I moderate for channels that do, and it's it can be an issue.
Okay, I've got those turned off now, so hopefully that will work. Sorry about that, Donnie. I just
No, it's
I
okay.
wanted to address something that I wasn't
Yeah, I was
too
thinking
sure
he
of.
has a question, but then it's not for me. I don't know anything about
Yeah,
that.
yeah, neither do I. I'm trying to learn. And then
Bible
yeah,
questions I'm good at. Bible
Matt at
questions.
Grafted Branch Homestead says, yeah, type AZ so I can get your link. So he's asking you guys, Team Jesus Ministries. He said up here, and this is very common. This is one of the things I wanted to talk to you about, Donnie. And I'm going to have to split here not too long, around 8 o'clock our time. So
Okay,
about
about 4
five,
minutes.
yeah,
Quick,
a few
make
more
my
minutes.
answer quick then. Don't get into a theological discussion. Go ahead. Hit me.
I would love to. We should do this more. I should get on the Team Jesus
Yeah,
Ministries.
come in on a Saturday night.
Yeah, absolutely. But Matt at Grafted Branch, he says I need to find a church. He was having problems with some kind of woke stuff, I guess, over at the church he was trying to go to. But I have found. So I started this ministry called Pedal Ministry. I was telling you about that a little bit earlier.
Yeah, the bike.
We started up this bike ride, but we started off with a devotional, get into scripture, talk about its application for our lives, and then ride out together and talk about it more while we ride. And what I've found is that there are so many people lacking community, and I've found that the YouTube community is pretty amazing. It's pretty great. People connect real quick, and it seems like there's some real connections made. Um, but what I wanted to talk to you about, Donnie, is just what you've seen as people maybe like Matt, who they go to a church but they don't feel comfortable there because of X, Y, or Z, and just through all this been going on the last couple of years with people having a hard time connecting in person and everything else. I know for the Pedal Ministry, and it's an acronym, Pedal. Put every desire after love. So we lead with love. Love is the foundation. We love God. We love others, and we ride bikes. And we try to keep it simple. But I've found that so many people have been just longing for some type of community that's outside the normal church. And I didn't realize that was such a need currently. But I guess it really is. What have you experienced with Team Jesus Ministries and Church Online?
Wow. The condensed answer that I will say first is relationship.
Yeah.
If you establish a relationship with God first, where you're hearing from Him, He'll be able to tell you where to go. We're wanting to go to the church to get to God, whereas we get to God and He'll say, go to that church.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of in reverse. We are seeking a building or another person to introduce us and help us with our relationship when God has already supplied all of those directly to us. My journey began, I think, I don't know if I'm allowed to recommend a book, but it's called The Shack. Yep. I think we each need to understand that God carved a piece of Himself out for each of us, and that piece contains him completely. Now, in the book and on the movie, you see God dealing with someone directly. But you wonder, well, is everybody else on hold while he does this? That's where I realized, oh my goodness. And Jesus is like, hey, if you want it to be just me and you for 1,000,000 years, I'm fine with that. What? I never heard that from my dad. I never heard that from any human being. What do you mean, just me and you? And he made it very clear to me through this book and this ministry, or that ministry, was that I get a whole, complete God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Ghost as my companion. And he is totally sold out, fascinated with me, wants to know everything about me. I am his. He's mine. And I'm not shorting someone else to take all of his time, which I was as a child in a family of 5. I'm not cheating someone else just because I'm taking all of his attention. No, I've got his complete attention. He is completely, totally all mine every minute of the day. And as I take time to spend time, I see more and more of him every day in my life. So after I read that and realized I can have a relationship with God at all times, I'm not cheating anybody else to have it. He's completely sold out and fascinated with me. Every day I could restart reading my Bible. Every day it started making sense that I could spend time with him. And then all of a sudden he'll tell me something that I'd always wanted to know. I'll say, where are my keys? And he'll show me. Everything started coming together as it's based on relationship. He didn't die on the cross to make us Christians. He died on the cross to give us the opportunity, the ability, the right to eternity has been given to us by the cross, not the demand.
Yeah.
And so
Gift. Yeah.
he has given us this choice and the ability to choose him. And he is so in love with us. He is so wanting. He didn't die on the cross. He died for sin because it was so terrible. He died on the cross for sin because he loved us. And it was in the way, and he had to get it out of the way. And by nailing it to the cross, I mean, think of Jesus covered with sin. Then think of Jesus nailed on the cross. Then think of Jesus on the other side of the cross, completely healed. But the sin is still nailed on the cross. It's like he took it to the cross. He got it nailed to the cross. Then you see, cancer and all those things, they can't. You have to have authority in the realm. So they didn't have the authority to be on a dead body. So when they took the dead body off the cross, all the cancer, all the sin, all the pain had to stay there because it didn't have a right to a dead body. It only has a right to a living body. So he gets off, leaves everything there, and then all of a sudden this big pile of sin is like separate from me. And I can look at it and go, oh my goodness, there's the old me, there's the sin, there's the problems, there's the issues, there's the old personality. I'm standing next to it instead of in it. And he takes my hand and pulls me away from that. Okay, that's the old you now. Oh my goodness, it's like you just can see such a relationship developing. So once you have that relationship, once you have that fellowship, then you can see, okay, this is the church I'm going to. This is the person I want to talk to. This is the way I'm going to do this. I recommend churches online first. There are great churches that are online. There are some churches that are faith-based churches that aren't even open. They're just online. So to me, that means, okay, so they're afraid. If they're afraid and they're not open and they're worried about the big C, then I don't want to go to that church. I don't want to be a part of that. So, and I've said a lot here. I'll let you condense that.
I want to say too, we've gone to some churches where we didn't really feel like we were a part of it. We didn't really feel like embraced and stuff. So we knew it was like, this isn't really where we're supposed to camp.
And that wasn't the church's issue either.
We might have been there
God.
Sometimes we were there just temporary, just to get something and then move on.
As soon as we got it,
it
was like we were released to move on. And so you don't ever judge and say, well, this is not the church for me. No, this is just not where God wants you.
Yeah.
I mean, look at me. I was 13 years in the Coast Guard. 7 more years, I'd have had a check for life every month. I mean, that's crazy to get out. But God said, no, I got a better retirement for you. This is when I said I want you to save souls. I didn't mean on the ocean. I said, I want you to save souls for eternity. But, I was a heathen, and I took that as that's a good point, too. I took the inborn desire to sacrifice my life for others and joined the Coast Guard.
Yeah.
Because I was unregenerated. As soon as I got born again and began to develop in the Lord, all of a sudden, not the Coast Guard saved lives, but eternity saved lives. And then the Coast Guard meant nothing to me at that point. And I had a dream and a conviction and a confirmation to get out from another Christian brother in the Coast Guard.
Huh.
And then then of course, 2 years after that, I met her, and a year after that, we were married.
Wow.
And that was 28 years ago. So, I would have never met her. And I got out of the military because it was, it's an R-rated environment. It's very controlled. I just grow and sprout. And so many things came together. And, so it's the same thing. Look at my marriage to my wife as your marriage to God. At first you don't know each other really good, but the more time you spend together, the more you understand each other, the more you're able to deal with it. And then if something rough comes up, it's very short-lived compared to how good it is, and you get through it, and so the same thing with churches, same thing, same way as well. So, but anyway,
I
wrap
think
your thing up there.
Thanks, Donnie. I think the real takeaway is that it's all about relationships and your relation, right? God says, love the Lord your God with all your heart, right? And love your neighbor as yourself.
And him
right?
only shall you serve. Yes.
Yeah. And so it's in that order too, right? You gotta love God with all that you've got. And then you have to love your neighbor as yourself. And that's an extension of the first one, right? It's showing this world God's love and showing your love for God by loving those that are made in his image that he cares for, that he loves. Like you said, he is immensely in love with everybody. And even those that are far from him, that are turned away from him, he loves them so much. And you're absolutely right. It's all about relationships. And then we've got this relationship with one another, right? That is God ordained, that he has brought in that moment. And like you said, sometimes it's for a moment, right? For going to that church and saying, wow, this isn't where God would have me right now. But I got to know that through this experience. And then other times as lifelong relationships that, they're existing for this whole time that we're in these bodies, and then they're going to exist even longer in eternity. But it is all about relationships, and it's cool to think about that and how we can build those relationships, and that it's an investment that goes on. And anyway, I appreciate your desire to build relationships with people, Donnie, and to share the gospel with people. And I'll tell you what, I can't ever hear better words with my ears than some of those that you shared this morning. The gospel, right? The sin being nailed to the cross, and that it's done once and for all. And that it's not our work. We can't boast about it. It's the work that Jesus did for us and took our place on that cross and paid for our sin, so that we can accept that gift if we want to. We don't have to, though. That's a beautiful expression of love that he gave us too. He could have made 100 million robots, but he didn't. He decided to give us free will and the ability to choose. And that's a beautiful thing. But it is a gift. You have to accept it. You have to place your faith and trust in Jesus and what he did.
Robert Henderson said something really important about that. When we accepted Christ, we enacted the forgiveness of sin, but we have to enforce with our own will carrying that out.
Yes.
He died for our sin, but we have to initiate. Kind of think of it as a courtroom. The judge has made the decision. The sin is called guilty, but we still need the bailiff to carry out the sentence and take it to prison. And we have to do that with our flesh every day. Every day we have to carry out the sentence that flesh, you're dead. You have no right over me. The same voice that says I need to use the bathroom is the same voice that tries to get me to sin, that tries to get me to have fun, that tries to get me to eat too much, try to get me to do. It's like, no, I am not that. I don't, my body was in charge when I was a kid, but I'm in charge now. This is my body and this is my vessel.
Well,
People have a problem with that. They listen to their body too much, like it's the boss.
Well, you're going to obey something, right? That's what it comes down to.
Follow something. You're going to follow.
Right. You're going to be a slave to something, right? What are you going to? Who's going to be your master, right? And I think a lot of people think nobody's my master.
That's right.
But you're not. You're deceived, and you're thinking that you're your master, but you're being swayed by the wind, and whatever comes along. So anyway, man, I could talk to you for all day long, Donnie.
I think we'd have fun.
I think so. I do need to go.
I shared you out too.
What's that, Joy?
Shared you on the community page, my community page.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And I just appreciate you guys so much. There's so many people in my life that I've met through YouTube, and
it is something, isn't it?
It's a huge blessing. Yeah, it really is. And I'm so encouraged. I've had people praying for us, and people sharing what's going on in their lives. And I thank you guys for sharing what's been going on with you and with Kenny and all that. And I've been praying, and I appreciate that so much. Sometimes when I need prayer the most, having somebody else to pray for is one of the biggest blessings I can have. So I've needed that. I need to be able to pray for you guys and others, and I appreciate that.
Just when I'm thinking I'm not doing enough for God, I'll just have a desire to text somebody, and they'll text me right back. Oh my goodness, that was exactly what I needed. How did you know?
Isn't that cool?
And I didn't know.
It's like, just following the unction. It's just when you start to think of somebody, you either pray for them or you reach out to them or something.
Yeah.
And God will open a door for you to minister to that person.
Mm-hmm. That's the YouTube thing. This one lady's really having some issues, and God just opened the door to be able to visit her and to pray for her and to see the Lord move. And, all kinds of things happen here at the campground.
That's awesome. Well, I can't wait to hear what God's doing next with you guys. And I really appreciate you coming on, Donnie. I'm going to end the broadcast for now.
Sir.
But yeah, you guys have a blessed day. And everybody in chat, thanks for joining us. And we'll see you next time.
I'm going to leave out before I say something else.
Bye.
All right. Bye. Thanks, everybody. I'm Nick from Arizona Highland Homestead. Thanks so much for joining me with the live stream this morning. We'll be live every Thursday morning at 7 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, as much as depends on me. All right. God bless you all. Talk to you later.